All right, we're back with another podcast. We still don't have a name today. Actually, I don't think the name matters. What
It
do you want to
doesn't.
name it right now?
Nothing.
Speaking of naming, did you name your chat GPT yet?
Daisy.
Daisy, you chose it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Until
mine's
it's Daisy until I have animals at our farm,
oh.
so that way I can name whatever animal I decide to choose. Name Daisy.
Oh, so you
At least
can't
one
have
of them.
your chat whatever, chat
Buddy, buddy, buddy.
GPT. Yeah, make sure we leave that in the podcast. You can't have the same name as your cow and your chat GPT.
I can.
It's gotta be changed. Daisy, why never be Daisy? Mine's Sentinel.
It's
It's a real warlord.
like a real futuristic name.
Yeah, well, he named himself, so
So there we go.
um I want to talk about business today, right?
Oh,
So
we talk about business 24/7, so I'm ready.
yeah, well, the past couple of weeks, we talked about like getting here and what we went through and stuff like that, which has been awesome and great. But I want to talk about mistakes.
Ooh, then stick around. You'll definitely want to hear this.
So, what I want you to bring up some ideas of some of the mistakes that we made, not like not my previous life, not mistakes you made as a child, but like in business. What do you think are like the top 3 mistakes we've made? And I just want to see what you think.
The top 3 mistakes that we've
That
made.
we've made or I've made that you saw me make. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to
Ooh,
be.
okay. Top 3 mistakes that I think we've made in our business have been moving too fast. I know that's often quite opposite of what other people do, like, they don't move fast enough. We've moved so fast that it has cost us a load of money,
Hmm.
like, a lot of money, and I don't even know how much. I don't even want you to tell me. I'm sure you've already told me before, I forgot, and I put it out of my mind because I know that's how much it is. I think, um, another mistake that we've made on top of moving too fast has been not pouring not pouring enough knowledge and leadership into our people. We're doing that now, but I think that if we
Starting
would
to,
have
yeah.
done that a long time ago, and I think I don't know, I just don't think we've been consistent enough with that. I think that was a mistake, and I think another mistake is that we have our hearts, specifically your heart. I'm gonna put this one on you. Your heart is so big, and you want to help so many people. Like anybody that comes into our world, you've just been like, "I'll help you and I'll pay you this and this and this," and then we've never gotten results for it. And so I don't know how to articulate or like how to put that into. There's not really, I don't know what the name is for it,
Sure.
but we've done that. Those are just at the top of my head. I'm sure you're gonna say someone to be
No,
like,
so
yeah.
we're gonna break them down because I want to know why you think they're, and I'm not disagreeing. Um, moving too fast after what we talked about the last couple weeks, you still think that that's a mistake?
Well, here's the thing. I've said it before too. I think every mistake that we've made, whether it be money, people, uh, you know, not stopping our self development, not becoming stronger leaders, whatever it is, I truly believe that it has put us exactly and built us to exactly where we're supposed to be right now. So is it really a mistake? Of course, I don't think that. It is and it was, and maybe we could have saved some heartache and time and these things, but
Sure.
I'm proud and I would do it, most of it, all over again, you know.
Well, let's break these
Um,
down. So, do I think that moving too fast was a mistake? I think sometimes speed is money loves speed, speed loves money, and the faster I can move, the faster I can
yep.
go get what it is that I want.
Hmm.
And through my mindset, through all of it, I'm not attached to the cash
Yeah, you're not.
until the cash is bleeding. Sometimes then the attachment tries to draw back, but that's just mediocrity and
Hmm.
average trying to grab at me.
Yeah.
But I think if you're going to build an 8 or 9 figure, or let's just say you're trying to build a 7 figure company, right? But we've done 8 and on the way to 9 is what I'm after. I'm self funded.
For
Right,
sure.
we're self-funded. We don't have loans, we don't have credit. I mean, I have one credit card for my ad spend, but like everything we do is built off the backs of my work ethic. So when I look at the money from moving too fast, I don't even think the money's mine, which is because I'm after something
Yeah.
larger, right? I don't know if I've ever explained this to you, but I will tell you why it's a mistake as well, because I agree with you. But where it comes from is because I'm not attached to what I have. I'm attached to where I'm going,
Yep.
and trying to where I'm going is so beautiful that I know it's expensive to get there. You can't have what it is you say you want without an amazing amount of work ethic and just an unreal amount of risk.
100%.
Right. And sometimes I think because I am a Gemini, and we've been talking about this more, there's these two sides of me, right? The risk that I'm willing to take is just, I just don't care. But I also have this other thing that we do where we put money away. We've been putting it away every month to where you can't even touch it. We have like a
I don't even know
vault.
where. I
You know,
don't
you
even
do,
know what's in it.
I got honey holes just placed all over
You
the
do.
place so that you don't have to stress out. So that if I make a mistake, I can always go back and get it, which allows me to play risky and to move fast. Now,
Yeah.
the truth is, I've lost millions and millions of dollars moving that
Yeah.
way. But did I lose millions of dollars? Did I gain the knowledge to be able to move the needle to go after what I want? Because while other people won't make those decisions, I've made the decisions, I've learned from them, and I've moved faster than they'll ever move.
You've moved faster before they've even started.
Yes.
So you've decided, made the mistake, and already corrected it. By the time somebody's already been like, I think I'm gonna go do, you've already figured and
Yes.
moved on.
I've already
That's true.
made it. I've already made the decision and I've already taken action to get it. And
Yep.
sometimes even as I've launched it, I've already sold it before I even decide what we're going to do
Yeah.
because I know I'm going to do it. I've got cash collected for it. So in my mind, I'm just taking what's inside of here and I'm pushing it into the marketplace. And people are like, damn, I want that.
You know what maybe is even a better way to now that we're talking and walking through it is yes, we've moved fast, but there has been moments because we want everything. Like we want the like whatever life has to offer. And we've set goals and we've had clarity. And then sometimes in the midst of moving so fast, we're like, oh, but maybe we want this and maybe we want like we've lost our like North Star, I think is what you've told me
Mhm.
before. And so kind of getting away from that and not just being like, we
Yes.
gotta go.
Yeah. Well, so let's actually talk about that right now so we don't make the mistake again. Um, there's a North Star, which is to build the world's largest and greatest coaching company on the planet, right? And to build a 9 and maybe 10 figure, I shouldn't even say maybe, to legit
To
build
do
a
it.
10
Yeah.
figure company in our whole life. But although
Yep.
you're going to get me back, right? We talked about the previous podcast, you're going to get me back,
Mhm.
but that means I need to build leaders underneath it. So like we can't lose sight of what we're really building,
Yep.
the foundation. I think what you're saying in here is that I've warped your mind at the comeback time warp of speed, and I never allowed you to sit at a level because the minute we got to the level, I was done with the
It
level.
was already evolving.
This is houses, right? This is cars, this
This
is
places,
locations, this
yeah.
is vacations. And we look at these things and I'm like, yo, like this is cool right now, but I'm gonna go because I know what's over here. But you're right. It's not that you lost your North Star, it's just you conquered so fast that it feels like moving to the next one is uncertain
Yeah.
because
it's
I'm
true.
already spending for the next
Yeah.
to get here.
Yeah.
I would say inside of moving fast, I don't know if it's a mistake or not, but we never really confided in any of the coaches or the mentors we ever had.
Yeah, that's a mistake. That's a good one. That's a good mistake. You and I have this incredible tendency to like pay top dollar to get really close and to learn from amazing mentors and then not utilize them when they're literally asking us. Like, hey, you and I just have this amazing like we don't want to bother them or we don't want to be
That's one
I
thing,
don't
but
know.
for
I don't know.
for
That's
me,
just a little part of it.
like where it really comes from for me is I'm competitive as fuck.
Yeah, you are. Oh, for sure.
So the last thing
sure.
that I want to do, because I kind of know I'm like flying below the radar right now,
Yeah.
and eventually it's going to take off. Like I know my time is coming. I
Goodness.
clearly know that our time is coming, and everyone gets their 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and ours is coming.
Yeah.
And I know that, right?
Mhm.
So while we're down here, I'm trying to build a foundation. So it's not just my time, because what'll happen is someone younger, someone fitter, someone with the same message, someone better will come in
For
and
sure.
they'll take it, and that's just what's going to happen.
That's how it goes.
And you see all these different people that have their moments in time.
Yep.
So while I'm preparing for that, I pay for these coaches though, and then I should take advice because they've been there, but in my mind, I'm trying to get past them.
And in truth, and this is to like maybe kind of like gas you up, but in truth, almost never are they doing better than us. So it was kind of like, oh, you would pay and you'd be like,
It-
I need to see what's behind the curtain so that way I can build what they're building. And then only to find out like, yeah, they're doing a lot of really amazing things right. But honestly, I pretty
So
much
am
have
I.
got it nailed. Yeah.
Right. Honestly, I've done
Yeah,
some of
you've
these
done
things,
this,
and
yeah.
some of our stuff actually works better. I would never be too egotistical or too naive to think that I couldn't learn from anybody. So that's not
You can
what I'm
learn
saying.
from
But
every single person. And we still continue to learn
since
from
we're
people.
looking at
Mhm.
mistakes at the speed we're moving, I just should remember that I pay because I'm a coach too. People come to me for
Yeah.
advice. I should practice my own
100%.
advice, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the
That was
mistake.
one.
That's what I'm saying. What was the second one you said?
I think I said not like leading our people or giving them enough training or culture maybe is a better word for it.
Yeah, I think that out of all of the mistakes that we've made,
Mhm.
that's been the toughest.
It has been the toughest for sure.
I fully expect everybody to know what they're doing right now at the point because my barometer or my gauge for
Your work ethic is just so astronomical.
my what I expect of myself, I expect of everybody else.
This is like the best way to put it. I've told Mark many,
It's all me. It's not the
It
people.
is.
It's not the people.
it
it's
is you
me.
because
It's not me.
I've said so many times to you people come into our world and you just automatically are like, okay, this is your job, like go do your job.
Right.
That's it. And you just expect that people are going to take the initiative, they're going to figure it out, they're going to know exactly what to do, they're going to train and they're going to work and they're going to bleed because that's what you do. You are an anomaly when it comes to life in general. And then I had to kind of tell you, I was like, hey, listen, these people that we are bringing into our world, they're really special. Like we have amazing people. Sometimes we have people that don't work out, but I was like, for the most part, the people that we have come in are really amazing and they are hungry and they are optimistic and they're eager to learn. I said, but you're not teaching them, honey. I said, you would think that I was the worst. You would think I was useless. If I came to I'm a Comeback and I was pumped up and I'm this optimistic, bubbly gal and I'm ready to learn and I'm like, all right, I want to be a salesperson or whatever position, right? And I came in and you looked at me and you're like, all right, this is your position. Here's your whatever. Go figure it out. I'd be like, you would think I was the worst employee that ever existed on the face of the earth. You'd be like, this girl's freaking useless. She doesn't have work ethic. She's like, whatever you would be thinking, right? I'm just going to do it myself. I said, but what we have to do is take the time and pour into these people over and over and over again. And if you sat with me and you were like, okay, this is what you need to do A, B, C, D, E. Now go practice. And then I would go do that. I would go do it. And I'd be like, oh, wow, okay, I'm starting to get the hang of this. I'm really good. And oh, and now he's correcting me and I'm taking like constructive criticism. I'm doing it really well. And then over time, I would be unstoppable. I know I would
Sure.
because I'm really smart
Sure.
and I can figure things out and I'm eager. And we have done such a bad job with so many people.
I have done such a bad job.
Yeah, but I'm gonna take credit for it too because it's truly something we're doing together. And maybe things I could have stopped, in the past and been like, hey, maybe we should take the time to really sit and train with these people because they're just not you, Mark. Like nobody is you. Nobody's gonna work as hard as you. Nobody's gonna think like you. Nobody is you. But I see something really special in these people. And so often, as your wife, I've just kind of been like, okay, you're the leader. You know what's best. We have to go on to the next thing. We have to move on to the next thing, right? And so I think that I could have done a better job of being like, no, this person, I see something really special in this person. Maybe we should take the time to slow down. Let's train them properly. Let's give them, some attention. And, now we're doing that and we're trying to, and we're
Well,
really slowing down.
for sure, right now, the most important piece for me is to slow down
Yeah.
and build the foundation, right?
Mhm.
Take the time, the little things that I don't want to do, we
You
have to
have to
do.
do. Yeah.
But not that it matters or justifies why it's a mistake, but I can pick something up and do it really good right away,
Oh, you've always been that
right?
way.
So it's whether it's a sport or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, right? And so my thought is everybody can do it the same way. And I
Yeah.
just can't, I just for some reason can't comprehend it.
And I think I also said to you too, because I know that you
It's like
physically
I'm dumb because I'm like, well, I can't see it more than
you operate at such a high level that I know that you physically cannot comprehend coming into something or trying something and not figuring it out and trying to immediately become the best at it. Like I know that's incomprehensible to you. That most people just aren't like that, right?
right.
And that's not a diss on people. That is just you are built differently. That is why God has given you the gift that he's given you, right? Because you truly are built differently. I said, but majority of the time that people come in, I said, maybe we have to just treat them like our kids, essentially, like pour them with love and just keep like whenever they make a mistake or it's not going exactly how you want, we just gently redirect them like, hey, you're doing great, but we need to do this instead.
Mhm.
Hey, remember, this is the focus because how often am I doing that all day long with our kids, right?
Yeah, all
Maybe
day.
not so gentle, but but just this constant redirecting. And then before you know it, hey, they're doing it on their own and they're doing a great job. And then you give them that praise and those positive, like, hey, this is exactly what I want you to do. You're fucking crushing it,
Yeah,
And then they're
I think for
wow.
me, I never really came or worked. I've always been solopreneur or self-employed, right? Like,
You
so
are a self-driven, motivated mother effer.
my whole
For
life has
sure.
just been I've been relying on myself.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't really
Yeah.
I suck. I don't want to say I suck because I'm going to get better at it, but I suck to at people to this level, right? And it's crazy though when you look at the amount of revenue that we did. If you compare like revenue and what I've been able to pull off, like damn, dude, I probably could have been so much larger if I would have done it right.
If you would have just taken a little bit more time,
Yeah.
I think, because I think you did it right. I just think that taking
Well,
a little bit more
there's a
time.
cycle though. There's a cycle
There's a
where it
cycle.
gets to a place and then the people burn out,
Yeah, they do.
right? And that's
And we've learned all that though. So again, a mistake that we are learning from and we're correcting and we're not allowing the same patterns over and over and over again. We're catching it quicker. I think last week in a podcast, you said, or however many days ago it was, you said like we're catching our wounds much quicker now, and
Mhm.
we're bandaging them up. We're not just bleeding them out, you
Yep.
know. So,
Absolutely. Like in the 4 months we talked about the past couple weeks,
hmm
it literally happened in 4 months is not a long time. That typically would happen like a year
yeah,
to
and
18 months.
And I love that we share these moments because it's going to happen to people who are trying to build and do big things. Like that's why you and I are so adamant about like sharing the mistakes or sharing the things that we haven't done right or that we felt we could do better, because we want you guys to not make those, like be better than us, be faster than us, do catch these things quicker,
Yeah.
because it will save you so much time, so much money, so much people, so much everything.
It's funny because when you're saying that, I'm listening to you and like I know it's correct and I know it's right, but I'm like, God, I can't believe we gotta go all the way down and do the most basic shit.
It annoys the crap
It
out of you.
annoys me,
Yeah.
but it's
So it's necessary.
it's necessary.
Yeah.
There's a video that I play every day. I played for you that Andy sent me, and it
Oh
talks
yeah.
about slowing down essentially and taking the time to build
hmm
it correctly. And there's no shortcuts.
Yep.
It's just doing that. And he says, when you do that, you build a house on on a rock, on a
Yep.
foundation. And then the people start trying to tear it down. They're going to pull stuff up from your past, right?
Yep.
The reason I think that video strikes a chord with me so much is because nobody's trying to pull stuff from my past because I keep burning it down myself. So as we rise up, right? As I keep rising up and rising up and rising up, it'll bring more hate with, it'll bring more envy, it'll bring more jealousy. And not that this has anything to do with why I've done this, but that
Yeah.
that sticks in my mind every day. It's like, bro, everything you wanted, you already know how to do, but you didn't do the step to do it. So the mistake wasn't that I didn't pour into him, as I skipped the step.
Yeah. What did you say? You said to me the other day, like you said something along the lines like I thought that I could move so fast that I could skip steps.
Yeah.
Like for as long as I've known you,
Well, I
you're like
thought
I can collapse time. I can like
I could
my,
collapse
my
time.
reality is what I choose it to be, and I don't have to fucking wait years or months or days like people say I have to. I can go and I can go now. And like you're always trying to look for a faster. And honestly, what you've done is in a quarter of the time of what most people can do. So the
Yeah,
proof is there.
I started at a real deficit,
Truly,
right?
M-
It wasn't just
millions of
like
negative.
I didn't just want to start a business.
Yeah.
I was freaking eating out of a dumpster 10 years ago.
But
So
that thought process has made us skip so many pieces that now we're like, "Oh, okay. Those are actually very important. Now we do have to take the time to do them.
mhm.
Let's do them."
Okay, what's the third one you said?
And then what was the third one I said? I don't. Tyler, do you remember what my third one was? I don't remember. It's all good. Um,
I didn't write them down. Here's what I'll do. Here's
I don't remember.
what I'll add in there though. What I believe is one of the greatest, it goes back into culture,
Mhm.
right? It's not holding people accountable.
Oh, I think that was it.
Was it?
I think that was part of it
Oh
is
yeah, you're bringing people in and paying them too much.
yeah,
Yeah.
paying them too much and not allowing them to like hold themselves accountable.
Mhm.
Because again, it kind of goes back to what you said, like you are self-held accountable. You are self-directed, you are self-motivated, all these things. So you just expect people to come in and learn and grow. And most people come in and if they're getting paid top dollar, guess what? They're like, "Hey, I fucking made it. I'm good."
So I
You know?
think there's always this place that I go to, which is like, it's not right. It's not wrong. It's what I do and what I did.
Yeah.
Is I remember how difficult it was to get up to six figures again after taking out of the hole.
Yeah.
Right. And I remembered how bad I wanted that. So what I try to do, what's this game? Sorry, right? Where you
Kids love that one.
you get them out of start, get them out of the start, they can go. My thought is if I pull these people out of start and I give them this piece right here that I
Mhm.
wish I would have had, they're going to work hard for me.
Yeah. But
And it doesn't.
and then you and I talked and we kept going back to like why is it always bit us in the butt? Why can't we get people to move even though we're paying them super super well? And it always kind of boils down to what we thought is people just don't value money the way that you valued money. Um and not because of the things, but it was because of what it's done for our life. It's if and I think that I'm kind of the same way. That if I would have known that I had this opportunity, I'm gonna work my ass off. Like I'm going to prove and that I think you either have it or you don't, and you
Mhm.
want to continuously grow and you want to be better and you want to. So I don't know, but it was a mistake we made.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right or wrong is what we've done. We still got some
Yeah,
people doing it, and some people rose to the occasion, others did not
yeah,
or do not. And it's not, I don't think it's wrong to help people. I don't think it's wrong for me to want to help people
no,
by
it's
giving
not.
them a hand up because I wish that I would have had that.
Yeah,
But I overvalue what that freedom undervalue what that freedom that I built actually did for me. Like what it was like to hunt
Yeah.
because it was hell,
Yeah. And how
right?
proud of yourself
But
you felt
that's
like after you made that kill and you're like, "Oh, hell yeah."
but
You know?
that's and I'm trying to skip people because dude, I don't know. I mean, I don't know everyone. There's people got it way worse than me, right? I got a deep sense of gratitude for my life and what I've been able to overcome and
Mhm.
who I am. But I just remember not eating,
And I know that I
right?
remember
Uh,
struggling with literally, I have $60 to spend on groceries this week. How can I make that stretch so that way the girls and I can have like, so that way I can cook dinner every night this week? Like, how do I make that work? You know?
And sometimes when I do this, right, I do it for the people. Then I think they maybe start thinking it's all about me for the money,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm giving them something, and they're like, oh, like almost like it's I'm not empowering them. I'm forcing them. Like
Yeah.
I'm the Don Kiss the ring. Check out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gave you.
Sure.
I'm dangling, which isn't really where the intention is. But
No,
I
it's
could
never
see
been.
why some people say that. Sometimes I'm just thinking through some conversations I had the past couple of days.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, I can't really worry about what people think inside of it. If the mistake that I made was trying to help people have a better life, then I'll take that mistake all the time. But I'm not going to continue to do it because I think there's a correction to all of this.
Yes.
And I think the correction is obviously building the foundation, but really holding the standard.
Yep.
And what I wanted to do was
And
just
giving people the opportunity to rise to the standard.
rise to the
Yeah.
standard. So what I did this week is I'm going to share like just some of the standards I did for me personally.
Yep.
And just, I know you know these, but let the listeners be able to hear them. So, number one, I do what I say every time. I
Yep.
don't negotiate with discipline. I control my emotions. They don't control me. I show up early, prepared, and ready to dominate. I feel my body and my mind like a professional athlete. So, inside of them, I left them vague enough
Yeah.
to be able to still create a bunch of discipline underneath them so that in my days I can have the intensity because that's what's important to me.
Yep.
Because I like to feel like I'm
Crushing.
crushing
Yeah.
and fighting, right? It's like that.
You do.
So those are my personal standards. Then I created some leadership standards for myself for leading others, which is I lead by example, not by words. I don't tolerate excuses, only solutions. I correct behavior immediately. Silence is agreement. I praise publicly, correct privately. I set the emotional tone, always steady, always certain. And like, so this week I was looking for ways since I wrote these, I'm like, okay, I know that I need to hold these guys to a higher standard. I know that I need to catch them winning, right? So I caught Michael, I don't even know if you know this or not, but he's the newest guy and I don't feel like we've done a great job setting him up to be successful in
Yeah.
sales, but I'm watching who he is as a person.
Yeah.
And I notice him sweeping and cleaning
He's got the heart of a lion
and I
for
was like,
sure.
I want to pour into that
Yeah.
guy. I hadn't seen that in a while.
Yeah.
He wasn't just waiting for someone to tell him what to do. And I'm like, I really respect that.
Yeah.
So now I'll go to bat for him.
Yeah.
And I sat down with him and I praised him.
Yep.
It was there's nobody there, so it was publicly just him and I.
Publicly and
I
privately.
think maybe Phoenix heard him, but I guess it got both.
Yeah.
But the point is like it was nice, and that came I think from I maybe wouldn't have looked at that if I didn't write this down for myself.
Yeah, I love that.
I would have just
Mhm.
been too busy worried about where I'm going.
Yeah.
And then I wrote down my business standards for our company and our team. It's funny you say that mistake moving too fast, but my number one standard is speed beats everything. We move fast, we fix fast.
Yep.
Clients are lives, not transactions. We leave them better than we found them. No gossip, no negativity, no victims, period.
Mhm.
Results are expected, not hoped for. We operate with extreme ownership, no blame and no drama.
I love it.
Right. So like it gave me a standard of how I want to operate.
Those should
stuff.
also be standards for life, by the way,
Yeah.
everybody.
I mean, and they're all kind of the same thing. I mean,
But that's great.
they're,
It's
they're,
great.
this is how I want to live my life, my business, my life. Then what I did, I'm going to share this. I don't even know if I shared this with you, but for the listeners is I created my own, like, I want to be a billionaire. I want to be a $1 billion leader.
Yep.
Right. And I really want to be a leader of leaders and create billions of dollars, then go live my life peacefully. I'll be able to come back into the world
Mhm.
and make an imprint on people's hearts and then go back and do what I need to do. Honestly, I want to work 5 minutes a day. I was reading about Sir Richard Branson the other day, and he only works like he's working, but I'm not maybe not 5 minutes, 5 hours a week, I think what it was.
Sure.
And in those 5 hours, the decisions that he makes for the amount of people that he's leading is so valuable
Mhm.
that excites me, right? I want to be able to be that type of leader to where I'm surfing with you and skiing with you, but then when it comes to work, everything is so clear. I'm so focused that I get to make decisions that impact thousands of people.
Yeah, I love it.
So that's the vision of who Mark's trying to become, not trying, but who I'm going to become. So I'm responsible for everything in my life. I do not blame. I do not justify. I do not make excuses. If it's broken, I fix it. If it's missing, I build it. If it's hard, I rise to it. I live and lead by extreme integrity. My words are my contracts. My actions are louder than any speech. I do not lie to myself, to others, and especially God. I honor the trust given to me, even when nobody is watching. I execute with discipline, not emotion. My feelings are passengers. My mission is the driver. I show up regardless of motivation, mood, or moment. I'm dangerous because I'm consistent. I serve a vision bigger than myself. I build for God, for my family, for the generations that I'm never going to meet. I reject selfishness and small thinking. Every action I take is a seed planted for eternal impact. I fight for the people I haven't met yet. Every client, every teammate, every soul touched by this mission will matter. I don't sell services, I save destinies. I live so loud that they can't stay stuck. I protect the standard or I become the cancer. I'm the first to hold the line, and I'm the first to raise my hand when I slip. I'm the first to demand more of myself before I demand it from others. I win or I learn, but I never lose. Setbacks will sharpen me, pain will prune me, pressure polishes me. I'm forged, not broken. Then I signed this contract by myself as the leader of the greatest comeback in human history, I guess, besides Jesus.
I love it.
But I read this every day, and I've been doing it every day. Like, this is what I do in the morning when I get up. You know, I set my alarm for 4:30, but I'm getting up around 4:16, 4:17 before the alarm because I don't want it to even make any noise.
You know, that's also, I just want to say, that's another one of my absolute favorite things about you. There is no detail or no, um, there's just nothing is too silly for you to like.
Yeah.
I know, so maybe not so many, but somebody will watch that and be like, "Oh, this is stupid." Like, this guy wrote his own thing and he reads it every morning, and like, these are the details that you cannot overlook.
I'm going to go one
And
step.
you've taught me so much, and been like, "No, of course I'm gonna journal. Of course I'm gonna write this. Of course I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna look at, and I'm gonna do these things," and you do it over, and like, you're truly,
I'm going to drill, practice, repeat, drill,
yes.
practice, repeat,
And
right?
I absolutely love that about you, and it pours into our kids too, because there's so many things, maybe like these little, I don't know, whatever it is that they do, and it's not silly to them. They're just like, "Yeah, of course I would do this. My dad taught me that
But
this is what winners do."
we get hard on them, not hard on them, but we expect more of them because we expect so much for ourselves that we forget that they're 9,
They're
12,
little
and
kids.
15
Yeah,
years old.
that's
But
true.
just by being the human beings that they are, they're far superior than most kids. And I should say superior, but the way that they conduct themselves and hold themselves and what they
They're
know about
great
the
kids.
world is really, really amazing. And that comes from me and you being the leaders that we are.
Yeah.
I want to share this with you. There is going to be people out there that laugh at me, and I love that because while those people are laughing, we're going to keep winning.
Yeah.
And they're going to stay stuck and stay small. They're going to quit on themselves because that's a sign of quitting. Put yourself in a place where you're sitting there and you're going to laugh at someone else who's out there, who's living in the life that he wants, who's just been able to overcome all the stuff that he does. Yes, we got the money to quantify the KPI of what we won by, but the reality is of what we have sitting right here inside of this house, or even what Tyler can feel, because this is real, raw, and like relevant to the world that we're creating. That's a quitter. And I never want to be a freaking quitter. I'll go
You're
one
not.
step further. I'll read it and I'll voice record it and I'll play it in my ears on repeat
You
hours.
know
I'm gonna
what?
brainwash myself.
I'm surprised you haven't asked me to frame that yet.
No, I haven't asked you to frame that because I know what
Usually
happened
you
last
do.
time. Eh,
I'll
yeah,
probably say no.
yeah, you will say no. And I want to just, I know we're talking about standards, or we're talking about the company and some of the mistakes. I think one of the greatest mistakes that I've made, though, and as consistent as I am and as driven as I am, and what I overcome and what I get through, it's hard to keep that level of intensity and self development and growth.
So
So
difficult.
when I made the decision this week that I'm going to never shut it off, I tried something different.
Mhm.
I didn't just turn on,
Yeah.
right? I went more than, I hate to say this, but more than most,
Yeah.
but not near of what I normally do.
Yeah.
Because instead of me just running, and not that I'll get burnt out, but instead of me running like a rocket, and I think I've talked about this, I'm going to do a steady climb of getting better and better and better and better. Not 1% better every day, but can I get 10% better every day?
Yeah.
Can I get 6% better every day?
Yep.
Does it have to be the same every day?
No.
Can I sit down and go to the basics? What's my discipline? What's my routine? What are my feet in my brain? What are my feet in my body? I'm in good shape right now, but I know where I want to be a year from now, right? I know what I want our bank accounts to look like. I know what I want my relationship to look like. I know what I want our van that we're going to go traveling to look like. I know what I want our vacation and our kids to look like. And I'm
Mhm.
committed to that. But what the difficulty has been is you can get yourself so excited,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, my excitement moves us, but there's people out there that are gonna hear this, they're gonna hear someone else, they're gonna show up for the motivation, and they're gonna have the discipline. But to be able to run it long at that intense rate has been very, very difficult. Yes, my life is amazing. Yes, I've overcome some pretty big things, but I think the mistake that I made is that I go up and then I'll drop down. And sure,
Yeah.
over time it's here. But I think looking back at it, my life would be far more enjoyable. Our relationship would even be better than it is. Our
Yeah.
kids would be happier than they were. Our bank account would be better than it is because I was just consistent.
Yep.
And
I love that.
consistency is very, very difficult when you're someone who's driven as intense as me. So
100%.
I like to throw myself under the bus on these videos because like people don't get to see this. They don't really know what it's like behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And I want them to know that I'm not perfect and neither are you,
No.
but we don't do this to be perfect. We do this so that somebody can hear what we have to say and leave them better than we found them.
Yeah. That's why you the bomb.
I don't say you, it's we. I'm a comeback isn't
We the
about
bomb.
me. I'm a comeback's about we, and
This.
you're the co-owner of this, the co-creator of this, and I equal in all things, right? I give just as much credit to you as I give to myself because the nights that I was down, you picked me up. And you didn't even know you're picking me up. Like that's the thing you like to talk about. You didn't even really know. You didn't need to know. You used to say for years, you're like, yeah, but I don't feel like I did anything.
Yeah.
All you had to do was be there because no one's fucking been there for me for my whole life. So just being consistent, showing up for me every day without judging me and keeping me in a place of safety, which is nothing I've ever had in my life because I mean, I wake up every day and I look in this fridge and we're multimillionaires and I'm like, God, I'm so blessed to have this food. I
Yeah.
know that I fucking worked for it.
Yeah.
I know that I did that, but like, I don't have to think about it. You're there. You bought it for me. You keep it for me. It's safe. You have my pillows. Like all the little things that mattered you've done over the years for me is what's got me here.
I love that you say that because I am getting I've you would have been successful without me. No doubt about it.
I've always been successful.
You've always been successful. You would have been successful with or without me. And I say that out of love, obviously, but I love that you share.
I, I,
It's been for me. It's been easy to undervalue what I truly bring to because one, I think that if I'm not being blown up or I'm not being shot at, then it's not hard. Like, I think
Mhm.
that's just like the military part of me. I'm just like, you, what do you mean? It's not hard that you come home and I get to hear you vent about what's working or what's not working. And I just get to love and support you. Like, that's not difficult for me.
Right.
That truly comes out of place because I love you and I love us and I love what we're building. So to me, it's like, of course I would fucking do that. Like, why wouldn't I do that? And I love that you have always given me like this reassurance, like, no, babe, I couldn't have done this without you. I couldn't have done it without your steadiness or your calm demeanor or your constant positivity or your constant reassurance. Because to me, kind of how we talked about with you before, where to me, that's I think it's just who I am. Like
Mhm.
it's a gift that God has given me. And that's actually another realization that I had. I felt so not again, I think I just undervalue myself. Like I'm so calm, I'm so easygoing, which I love about myself. But it's so easy for me to overlook that that is something that God had gifted me, just like God had gifted you this incredible work ethic and this drive and this dream in your heart that you are going to make happen no matter what. And so I'm like, I don't have that. I don't, compare myself to like certain things, but we wouldn't be where we are and you wouldn't get to live such an incredible life filled with love and peace and our children and laughter and these things if it wasn't for my gifts bringing to the table, which is my steadiness in all of the chaos that we go through, which is, the positivity that I'm constantly pouring into you, my ability to take whatever metaphorical punches you're throwing at me because of the business that day and for me to just kind of let it roll off my back
Mhm.
and not aid in the fear or aid in the risk or aid in any like I'm not aiding in the chaos. And I loved that I was able to sit with a devotional and come to that realization that that's actually a gift that I
Mhm.
have. And as you're equal in all things, like we have different superpowers in this relationship. Men and women have different superpowers in their relationship. And when you bring them both together and you're appreciative of what your partner offers and and vice versa,
Mhm.
that's why we're at where we're at. And I just think it's incredible.
Well, a couple things before we wrap this up is number one, I've never undervalued it, and you should never undervalue it. But at the same time, I think we both undervalue who we are, and that combined is a massive superpower because it's relatable to people out there
Yeah.
because we're real. So that's the reality of it. Number two, you're 100% correct. I was going to be successful. I always was successful, but we'd have to redefine what success means because would I make money? Yes. Would I have been this happy and in love? I don't know. That's
No.
true. See what I'm saying? So like, so you look at that, right? So you redefine what success is. But this is the most important piece that I'm going to end on. And I don't want it. I want you to hear it for the beauty that it is. I didn't need you.
Yeah.
I wanted you. I wanted the feeling that you made me feel every day. Therefore, I changed everything in my life. The lies, the cheats, the scumbag, the drugs, the drinking. Even though I've been already on that journey, I solidified it in my heart because I found somebody that worth giving every piece of me to. And over the years, I didn't need to give you that. I wanted to know more who I am so I could give you more of who I am because it helped me become more of what I was called to do. And that is the truth.
100%. I love that, honey. And you know what, too? I know that was like a perfect way to end this, but it's on my heart to just like talk about it really quick since you said that, that you and I have changed so much willingly because we both want what's greater and what's better, right? Together, like we have this. And I remember there was a time, it must have been 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago. And this is when I was just starting self development and I was not the woman that I am today. I completely different, honestly, unrecognizable, probably besides the way that I look, right?
Mhm.
And it was so much out of love and respect for me, but you were so steadfast on where you're going that you weren't going to allow a low standard in your life. And you looked at me when we were on vacation. I think we had taken my family to Boston, right? Is this right? We had
Mhm.
taken my family to Boston and um it was these there's legalized dispensaries there for like, oh, you can go in and you can try these different weed strands. And I'm not even I hated drugs my whole life, but my sister was really excited about it because she liked to smoke weed here and there, right? And so she's like, I want to go check out these dispensaries. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna go with you because I've never done this before. It's legal and I don't know. It was just and and you came up to me and it was out of love and it was just out of love, but it was like a serious moment in my life where I was like, "Oh my god." And you came up to me and you said, "I love you and you can be whoever you want to be. Like I'm never going to try and change you because I'm not that person, but I can't be with a woman who gets excited about going to a dispensary. Like, I need you to want to elevate and be better in every area of your life." And in that moment, I remember I must have like, we were like up in this attic, right? Because we
Mhm.
were sharing, and it was like this loft downtown Boston, which, whatever. And I sat down on the bed and I could have said, oh, well, fuck you. It's not that big of a deal. Like, it's just weed, or I don't know what I would have said, right? But
Mhm.
I sat down and I said, wow, thank you so much for I don't remember exactly what I said, but thank you so much for seeing so much more potential in me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like I was just so it was such an eye-opening moment for me like, wow, this man truly wants to live a great life and that means, Kendra, being checked when you need to anyways, just from that moment on um I knew and I was excited to change literally everything about myself, the way I think, the things that excite me, the way I walk, the way I talk, the way I want to experience life in general. I was so grateful for that eye-opening moment and for um your just like steadfast standard about life because it changed everything about me. I
I
was just a
really
silly little
and
kid.
I knew that.
You knew that.
I knew that. I didn't know that was gonna happen, but I didn't think about it. I just knew what I wanted. I knew where I was going. I knew who you could become, and I knew
Yeah.
what it was, but I was also willing to risk the fact that you could have said no, and I was had to break up with you.
Yeah. And
Because
honestly,
like, dude, I can't pour everything I have into the world, then you wanna be a fraud.
but I think that's so important to share because now maybe it wasn't going to a dispensary, right? But there's something in a man or a husband or a wife's life, right? They want to elevate, they want to do whatever, but they're not holding each other to the standard of what they want to live their life to, right? Because you could have said nothing. You could have been like, whatever, like we're on vacation, just let her do this, right? But you knew that would have been a lie to the life that you
Do you
wanted
know
to
what
live.
would've happened if I would've said they would've ate at me? I would've left.
Exactly. And so, and then on top of it, like I wouldn't have grown as a human. I wouldn't have been able there's something in somebody's life right now where they wanna elevate and and you don't wanna give up the thing that you know you have to give up, whether that's your ego, whether that's partying with friends, whether that's, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't
Mm,
know what it is. But if you are lucky enough to have a husband or a wife that is honest with you and can, like, put you on the right track when you are getting a little too excited about something silly that's not the life that you wanna live, be so grateful for that person because I was so grateful in that moment for you
mhm,
to just say, hey, baby girl, like, if you want to live that life, I'm going to let you go live that life, but this is where I'm going. This is what I want us to do." And then boom, I was like, oh my God, I knew I picked the right man in my life that's going to challenge me. And that wasn't a challenge. That was just like an eye opening moment. But who's going to challenge me and correct me and push me to be the best wife and woman and mother that I can be.
And I'm going to wrap this up, but I want you to remember that moving forward from here, for every single person that comes into our world to hold the standard,
Yep.
because I'm a comeback is designed to make people be great.
Be great.
That's what like coaching, training services, all this different cool stuff we do, but to make people be great. And whether it's overcoming alcohol issues, whether it's recreating who they were, whether it's building a relationship, whether it's building a business, building the funnel, it's to be your greatest self.
And you make me want to be great.
All right. That's it for this week's episode. See you guys next week.